Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Afterlives is coming, a series of animated shorts telling the story of Shadowland and its covenants. So let's jump in and take a look. Now, if what I described in our little intro there sounds familiar, you'd be right. For the last couple of expansions, Blizzard has given us a series of animated shorts that give us a little glimpse into events leading up to said expansion. The one really most will remember will be the Warbringer series, with Jaina singing that gorgeous song, and Sylvanas maybe burning down a tree. Don't know if anybody remembers that. And now they have announced the name for the upcoming Shadowlands version, Afterlives, as we said before. Now this will be launching at Gamescom 2020, which is August 27th, 11 AM PDT or 2 PM EDT. I, for one, am extremely pleased to see these animated shorts back. And these are a nice way for people to get into a deeper understanding of events or the lore, the story itself, without having to read external things like the Shadows Rising book or the online short stories that they had for BFA. These can be added in-game, just like they did with Warbringer. We can have these short animations that come in and at critical points and tell us what's going on in the bigger story. So even if the player doesn't want to hunt out, as I say, the short stories online, or be bothered with watching them at Gamescom because they're just not interested, they can still see the events that lead up to what's happening around them. I will ask on a side note, where is Jaina's flying ship? It showed up to save the Alliance gang and we haven't seen it since. Is it... this is an honest question. Is it parked up now in Borealis Harbour? I don't know. Anyway, back on track. Given the roster of characters that could be present in Shadowlands, not including those of the Covenants, there are some really interesting stories that could come up from these. Personally, I think the two that really stand out, I know Arthas will be a big one for everybody, but also Garrosh Hellscream. I'd be really interested to see more about the Garrosh and whether, how he feels about the actions that he did, stuff like that. Yes, I'm all down for that. I've always been a big fan of characters that are not pure good or pure evil, that show depth, that even if you don't necessarily agree with their actions, you can understand how it got to that point. It's one of the reasons I love Shadows Rising. A standout character for me in that would actually be Anduin. He became more of a rounded character. It wasn't always, my bones are tingling, that means I'm not doing the right thing. Instead it was nuanced. He did things that it might be against his personal code, but he knew they were for the greater good. I'm all good with that. I will say, I know this is personal opinion, but I'm hoping that when we get the reunion for, say, Uther and Arthas, that we get a far more rounded, full Blizzard cinematic, because nobody does cinematics better in gaming. They are absolutely amazing. One of the standouts of BFA was the animated stuff that they did, or sorry, the big cinematic stuff they did. And yeah, please, Uther and Arthas getting back together, that, or Arthas and Jaina, that needs to be given the big treatment, because these are huge moments. Don't get me wrong, I love these shorts being a little teaser, as I say, a little quick way of getting us into the mood. But yeah, that's my hope, is that we still get some of those big creamy cinematics that Blizzard are well known for. And outside of that, outside of August 27th, these are coming. There isn't much more to say regarding the shorts. I'm just excited to dive on in, to watch them, like everybody else, popcorn in hand, ready to rock and roll. But what I will say is, Shadowlands, and I don't know whether this is an unpopular opinion, is shaping up to be something special, I think. It feels like an expansion that Blizzard truly cares about and they want to get right. And yes, I know, the cynical side says, well, they kind of have to get it right. The only thing that saved BFA was Classic launching. And yeah, there is some truth in that, I won't deny it. But I think that's also doing Blizzard a disservice. What we seem to be experiencing now is kind of the old Blizzard, or almost Blizzard 2.0. Now, bear with me here. We have a Blizzard that has an idea, and it's going to stick with that, because it's going to give us maybe not a perfect experience, or the experience that we would want to see, but they're going to give us the Blizzard experience, the one they want to present to us. And back in the day, that's the experience we fell in love with as players. Would anyone want now the experience of a hunter's bow breaking mid-fight, or cows and giraffes tearing across the battlefield? No! We would scream, this is crazy, this is ridiculous, you're ruining the fight, it's awful. But when you look back on those things now, we have fond memories, because that was fun-loving Blizzard who didn't care, played by their own rules, and we fell in love with that. So now we enter Shadowlands, and Blizzard know what their vision is. And they're sticking to it, for good or for bad. Covenants are easy to leave, hard to go back to. Okay, now we're not going to get into covenants. There has been enough spoken about that. But what they are doing is they want to work with the community. They're saying, okay, look, we want to stick with our guns. We've got this vision. We've got this idea. That's old school. But what we want to do is bring the community on board. We want to try and balance this. We want to try and get your understanding so that we can work with you to make it all round better for everyone. And that's to be applauded, in my opinion. So is all the work that's been done around the edges that hasn't been shouted about or sung about. It isn't getting enough praise. The level of, let's say, customization that they've added is crazy. I mean, my God, they made female Taurens look almost pretty. In all fairness, who am I to judge? I think female goblins are cute, so, you know, shows my taste. It's very easy to read Twitter and to watch streamers, and a lot are moaning about various aspects of the game. You know, Covenants is obviously the standout one, but just things that they just don't like, and it's constant hatred of Shadowlands. We all do it. I'm not judging anyone. We've all done it. We've sat and we've moaned about something. You know, I've done it myself. I've moaned about class balance. Poor Cuddles has had to hear me constantly moan about Titanic Residuum in BFA, and that it really only comes from M+, which is a pain if you play a class that isn't really wanted M+, or you just don't enjoy doing a lot of M+. Yeah, then it kind of sucks getting a nice bit of Razorite gear that you particularly want. But to be honest, what does it get us in the end? For one, I would rather work with Blizzard to make WoW better than to sit and moan and to post on Twitter all day saying all the things that I hate, all the things that they're getting wrong, and that all their people are stupid and don't understand class balance. I, for one, if I was on the other end of that and I'm reading it, I don't want to engage with that player base. I'm not interested in that, and that's the worst thing that could possibly come from this. Even if you don't like the ideas and the changes they're doing, you must respect the fact that they are at least trying to reach out and embrace all aspects of the community. And if we lose that, that would be the biggest loss. Forget whether Covenants stay as they are, forget whether class balance is a little bit janky, or numbers don't line up, whatever it may be. The worst thing could possibly come from this is if Blizzard then turn around and say, we tried, you guys have just been like, no thanks, we're not interested, we hate everything you're trying to do, we're not going to try and even have a dialogue with the community. It's okay, it's 100% okay to be worried about stuff. It's okay to have questions about classes or covenants or whatever it may be. But we need to be constructive, we need to give feedback, we need to do everything we can during beta, during the PTR, to try and make this the best we can. Because with Afterlives coming on Friday, Shadowlands is only getting closer. And maybe, just maybe, we are going to get maybe a date for pre-patch, maybe even the full-blown release date. Exciting times. I know I'm probably in the minority at the moment, but I am excited for Shadowlands. I think this could be a truly classic expansion. One of the greats that we talk about in sort of whispered tones like we do with Wrath of the Lich King and that. They've all had issues. They've all had problems, but the amount of love and care that's going into this game right now, going into this expansion, feels like old school Blizzard. And I, for one, applaud that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. That is enough of me for now. Have a great day, stay safe, and I will catch you all tomorrow.
He destroyed my home, murdered my people and my king. He must be punished.
For Ardenweald.
Welcome to Bastion.
To the good people of Revendreth, Maldraxxus must stay true. If we fail, the Shadowlands will fall.
Light, save my soul.